So, what does it actually mean to do good? Turns out the answer is way more complicated than it seems.
All right, put yourself in this situation. You've got to hire a captain for a super dangerous trip. Stakes are high. So you've got candidate A total pro with a perfect record. And then there's candidate B, a walking disaster. And yet, who do we celebrate? Candidate B, the guy who sailed right into trouble, Ernest Shackleton. Meanwhile, the flawless guy, Roald Amundsen, almost nobody remembers him. This points to a funny thing about us, a bias that some historians call the action fallacy. Yeah, we just love a good story, but we forget that the best leaders are often kind of boring. This whole thing about action brings up that old saying, about the road to hell. The philosopher Alan Watts actually warned that trying to fix everything can be super destructive. He told this great little story about a monkey who tries to save a fish by putting it up a tree. See, Watts' point is, how do you really know what's good for someone else, or even for yourself? And this isn't just some philosophical idea. It gets real when our ethics smash up against the law. Just because you can legally do something doesn't mean you should. The case of Reality Winner is a perfect and really complicated example of this. To the government, what she did was a massive threat to the country's security, no question. But her own mom? She saw it as pure patriotism, giving people the truth about an attack on their country. Winner leaked a secret report because she felt the public was being lied to about our elections. And for that, she got the longest prison sentence ever for leaking to the media. Now check this out. Her sentence looks pretty wild when you compare it to other cases.
So, how are we supposed to navigate this when good intentions can go so wrong?
Well, Holocaust survivor Viktor Frankl had a really powerful idea about this.
He actually suggested building a Statue of Responsibility on the West Coast to balance out the Statue of Liberty.
It's all about shifting focus, not from what we can do, but the effects of what we choose to do. Maybe the real point isn't to try to be good. That's where we get into trouble. So what if being good isn't some heroic act, but just quiet, responsible, humble action?